play our great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First People, their contribution to our nation and contribution to the great game of Australian rules football. I would like to now call on our umpires to give our players a shake of hands, please. Bendigo today of North Ballarat Football Club. I'd like to call upon our two captains today to come and do the toss with our representatives from V-Line. Fantastic and best of luck to both teams. Ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to make a reminder that the venue ground is only for players and officials, and unfortunately supporters are not allowed onto the ground during the quarter time, half time and three-quarter time breaks. Thank you and enjoy the game.
Welcome back here to Mars Stadium. My name's Harvey Constable. You are watching Sportscast Australia and you are watching the V-Line Cup. It is the final day of the 2025 V-Line Cup. We've had the girls, and it was the Gippsland Power who were victorious by 5 goals. Just about, 29 points it was, 39-10. And now we have the Division 2 boys, Gippsland Power against the Bendigo Pioneers. As I said, my name's Harvey Constable. The only reason you're seeing this, hearing it, etc., etc., is because Matt is doing the camera and the audio work for Sportscast. So we're just about ready to get set. And as I said, pre-game of the women's, if you're just tuning in, it's been a big week to be a Geelong fan. My throat is pretty much in the mud. So I apologise if you hear me going through a coughing fit, or you can probably hear it in my voice, as umpire Lucas Harrison, one of my ex-colleagues at the VAFA, gets us underway here. And I do apologise. Names, numbers, that'll just be an ongoing process. I'll do my very best. It's a fast-paced game here. Gippsland in that with the football. This is Lincoln Balcom Matters who gets it inside 50. It gets out the back. Opportunity here for the Power to start proceedings well, and they're going to get a forward 50 stoppage. And that's not what you want as a boundary umpire. Your first whistle is a bung one. Of course, 20-minute flats. The V-Line Cup, if you're just joining us, this is the 76th edition. These are under 15s, the best under 15s Vic country players, or is in the best Victorian country players, not the representative Vic country, but these players, some of them would be hoping to make that representative squad as ball comes out. Picked up by Hunter Wind from the Power, then coming through is Sutton or Phillips even. But Bendigo break it up. They have a few numbers in there, the Pioneers. One of them's Oscar Greenwood. And number 37, the socks up. Love to see it. Not many out there. And umpire Harrison circling, holding the football. So free kick is going the way of the Power. It's going the way of Will Walker, was in the best from their game on Monday. Lovely little low ball in. Was not marked. Opportunity here. Gippsland really pressing to start proceedings. Looping handball. And the Pioneers just have enough. Umpire circling as well. They've got the numbers out the back, the Pioneers. Well, it's the Power who are going to get boot to ball, and I think that's a goal. And I think it was Archer Hawke who got boot to it. So he has the first here for the Gippsland Power, who are kicking to the left of the radio dial, or the screen. Sorry, my radio muscle memory's kicking in. And they have the first, so they really pressed there, Gippsland. We saw this in the girls. They kicked to the left of screen as well, the Gippsland Power, and they just were peppering the inside 50s. So Bendigo on Monday, they defeated Goulburn Murray by 25 points. Gippsland defeated by South East Stingrays 121-50. So Gippy, that's a good start for them. As Wind again comes out of the midfield. Lovely little low ball. Intercept mark is taken. Xavier Carmichael was named in the bests in their game on Monday. Kicks out looking for McDonald. Combines with a teammate, James McDonald. Nice little inboard kick. Is a good one. And there is that 37, Greenwood. And they found a space in the corridor and on the outer side here. Oh, that was a scrubby kick. Didn't quite work. It does get through though. Spring. Inside 50 they go. Juggling mark not quite taken. This is a good chance though. Darcy Pritchard can't get that one on target. It's a minor score. High octane football to start proceedings here. Division 2 under 15s boys. Gippy against Bendigo. Gippsland come out of defence. The kick is gone about 80 metres. It's gone about 100 metres almost. Just through the deck, through the hands of a few. Coming through is Brown. Well controlled by Isaac Brown. Lovely low ball again. Just a little bit over the top of a couple of teammates. Not quite able to track. That's Tom Carter. But they do get another forward 50 stoppage. They really got that end to end there. It was 2 kicks and they've gone literally from end to end. Can Gippsland get their second here? Greenwood picks it up, does pretty well there. Is very composed, but then he just handballed to himself almost. Then picks it up, was tackled. Play on, says the umpire. They will get the ball clear, just Bendigo. Oh, and that's a beautiful mark. How about that from Charlie Dickens? 197 centimetres as a 15-year-old's not bad, but there it is. The commentator's curse. You put it on him. Isaac Brown takes the mark. 60 from home, and number 50 on his back. That's VFL numbers. Oh, beautiful. Lovely little low ball. Finds Lewis Phillips. So we had 197. This man's 164. And he's not 100% confident with the distance, and his teammates are all leading out. So this will be a kick of about 47 metres for the number 32. For the second on the board, he hits it pretty well. They like it behind the goals, and it's not knocked through. It's knocked back into play. Picked up by Carter and rushed through for a behind. So 117. The Pioneers struggling to get it out of their defensive zone at the minute. There's the sun's shining, but the light drizzle is falling here in Ballarat. Mars Stadium, V-Line Cup. It's off hands as the ball goes back inside 50 for the Power. Again, good tackle that time. Was from that man, Phillips. Sock it out of thin air. And that's going to work out okay. Mark taken by Jimmy Kelly, who rolls and goes into the corridor. Risky kick, off hands. Bendigo back in there. There's umpire Harrison circling. And I apologise if that's the only one I can name. It's because I know him. I don't have the names of the other umpires. I could do my due diligence at halftime. I might go do that and ask them. Greenwood comes in. They are just next to us, observing, making note of all the decisions / non-decisions. Here's a chance for Bendigo. Opportunity perhaps, they're just a little bit slow. But they do have an opportunity with Greenwood to get the first on the board. He misses. He's everywhere. He's Oscar Greenwood. Out of Karang FC, goes to Karang Tech. I've got to be honest, I'm not from the Bendigo region. I haven't spent a lot of time there. Karang Tech sounds fancy. That's a good kick. Coming again. They just get so much meterage. The ball's skidding along this beautiful deck here at Mars Stadium. It's a couple of times now Gippy have got in. And can they get out? Not quite. Umpire's going to call for a ball up. And there's a free kick for a block. It's going to go the way of the light blue. They, of course, are Bendigo. They're on the board, but they haven't hit a major yet. They haven't really had a good look at the sticks. That's, again, a low ball. It is going to skid. It gets off hands. Opportunity comes through for Kelly. Just grubbers one to the top of the goal square. It was well defended by a couple of the Gippy boys down there. Going to get another ball up. This is a really dangerous position. Where are the smalls? For the Pioneers, there's a couple floating around. This is where they can come into their own. Ball tapped towards the line and over the line. I do have to say as well, my apologies if I miss anything. I'm looking down to try and get the names, and I've just about got the smallest team sheets I could have printed myself off. That's just the way I was sent them. Will do my best, because it's fast footy, it's good footy, and these boys are sensational. They would towel me up any day, I think. I don't even think I know they would. There's plenty of bodies around there. Comes out, Wind got through his hands for the power. Ollie Island was also in there. He had a bit of a fumble, and it allows Bendigo to get the ball inside 50. Slight little nudge out, gives an opportunity for the Pioneers to get on the board with a major, and they cannot. That's Jamison Wesley, who's just kicked that through for a minor. And we've seen the ball skid from here. It hasn't gone to hand from Gippsland just yet. But there, beautiful mark from Ireland. Rolls on to the left. Oh, this is good football from Gippsland. Their transition game is on at the minute. Brown is going to be there to meet it. He gets the hands, finds space. He's eclectic, gives it off to Phillips. That's a good kick inside, attacking 50. Just centered the ball beautifully. Right down the throat of Kobe Hart-Thiesling out of West End Junior Footy Club. And the number 15 for the boys in the darker shade of blue will line up directly in front. The coach Sean Sparks, team manager Scott McDougall for the Div 2 boys. Long run up. He's directly in front. There's a bunch of eager boys waiting behind it to cheer it through. And they go up, and Gippsland go up again. So will the flags from the goal umpire. Kobe Hart-Thiesling, his first major of the day. Adds to Archer Hawks first. And it's a lively start here from the Gippsland power. As we said, there is a breeze. It seems to be blowing across the ground towards the left, which is probably why you might have heard me say I'm not that cold up here. It's generally very windy, but I think the wind's actually blowing across the stand behind Matt and Mai's heads up here. So here's Isaac Brown again. He looks a football, this bloke, and it's a good kick, not quite. Just over the head of Phillips. Those two seem to have some bit of connection going on. That's just one thing from Brown. He's obviously very speedy, but he's almost maybe too fast for his own good. A couple of his kicks inside 50 have just been a bit wayward, gone over the heads of teammates. But someone's got to go with him, because he's breaking it open for Gippsland. And Bendigo are in a bit of strife here. They're being smashed out of the middle. And the engine room's where it all starts, at the coalface, of course. Can they win a clearance here, the Pioneers? They almost did. Greenwood's in there, and bursting through was Sinclair. Gets it out, not quite, was Harvey Keating. Here's an opportunity again. On the left boot once again from Ollie Ireland. It's going to go all the way. Fantastic bit of footy. Drops it on the left boot. Ollie Ireland. Well, their midfielder, as we said, getting on top. And he's another midfielder who's kicked a goal on his opponent. Now the Warragul Industrials Football Netball Club. They're just being outworked at the moment, the Bendigo mids. Greenwood's been there, and he's the only name I've really called for Bendigo. That's probably, that's out of their midfielders, by the way. And that's probably no fault of their other mids as well. It's just hard to see who's got the football when it's congested. But again, they get beaten out of the middle. There is that goal scorer, Ireland, who gets the ball up to centre half forward. He was nearly trapped by another goal scorer, Hart Feasling. He's in there to pick it up again, does the dirty work, gets it free. They got numbers. That's not a great kick coming out of defence from the Pioneers. Greenwood, though, he was so clean. How about that for a pick-up? Gets it on. There's an opportunity for Spring. The blue headgear matches the jersey. Back to Greenwood. This time he does fumble. He wasn't as clean. Gives it back to Spring. Kicks up to half forward, and they're just under so much pressure. And that's a mark and a go. Fraser Livingston. Turn on the Jets, kicks up to half forward. It was trapped, and they didn't really negotiate that well. Cooper McDowell was under pressure. Under pressure as well as Carmichael. Umpire says play on. And that's a kick that's very close to the boundary line, and well, it looked over from where I am, but admittedly I'm just about on the other side of Ballarat. The umpire had a good view of that. And there we go. Here's a bit of ball movement. Ali Gill. Kicks inside the middle of the ground. Ireland broke it up, the opposing 45. And Wind has had a bit of it early. Gets it on. They've just got some elite runners, it looks like, off half back. And all of a sudden a bit of space for Jack Thomas at centre half forward to line up, set his sights on the big sticks. And he's put it out on the full. Man, this is good fun to call. It's good footy. It's not very clean, but it's just fast. And at the moment, Gippsland are really peppering Bendigo. They had an opportunity high up there, end of the ground there, the Pioneers, and they just lacked a bit of cleanliness, which is what we said about the girls in the Division 1. And if you're just joining us, the Gippsland Power did beat the Bendigo Pioneers in the girls. It was a 29-point victory in the end. They pretty much controlled from start to finish. And so far for the Division 2 boys, it's similar proceedings. Wind is out there. He put the shepherd on that time for Brown. Obviously, a selfless group. Back from Wind, back to Brown. This would be special. And he misses just. Man, they're really getting on top here. Brown, Wind, Ireland. They're just everywhere. The Pioneers trying to just have a bit of the football. They really haven't had a lot of possession to start proceedings. And here's an opportunity. They've got to find a target. That's a pretty well-weighted kick. Good fist came in though, but it works kindly for Noah Pearson, who was just almost thinking about what he was going to do with the football before he actually took it. He gets a little bit lucky. So, ball up. Neutral territory on the broadcast wing. Bendigo just holding on. You're almost going to get the clearance. Not quite, no prior for Paddy O'Brien. Dare I say, a bit of Irish heritage in his blood. The redhead. And that's a big leap. Oh, nearly a screamer. Not quite. And off they go. Ireland kicks to the outer side. There's a 2-on-1 here for Gippsland. Can they do well? Out there is Ryken Kinner for the Gippsland Power. And it was James McDonald for the Bendigo Pioneers. And McDonald, he did a great job to equalise that. 2-on-1. Well done, James McDonald. So the sun's disappeared a little bit. The rain just drizzling down. It's consistent. Ball onto the outer side. Away come the Pioneers. Hugo Warren. Famous last name. Don't know if there's any relation. Let's say there is. Beautiful hands. Good chain. Greenwood gets out the back. This will be the first for the Pioneers. He deserves it. They're on the board. Beautiful transition. And it was a perfectly weighted kick. Going inside, attacking 50. That was from Callum Muir. And Oscar Greenwood now, he's got 1 goal, 1. He has earned that. Certainly been the best so far, you'd have to say, for the Pioneers. In the midfield, has been able to go forward. And the margin's back to 11. So they avoid the same fate as the girls did. The girls didn't kick a goal in the opening quarter for the Pioneers, but the boys have, in the Division 2 at least. Good tackle from Wind. No prior opportunity. The umpires, as we've said, there's 70 of them. They're also looking to make the next stage, as are some of these boys. This is sort of the pathway to actually work your way into some Coates Talent League programs. You imagine the scouts are here. And if this is Division 2, Gippsland, I can't imagine what their Division 1 program is going to look like, because there's some stars out there already that have seen. Scramble, close to the wing, or on the wing, close to the line. And they're being tackled is Lucas Sinclair out of Mildura Footy Club. I do know where that is, thankfully. Thrown up again, out of the ruck. Good tackle that time on Sutton. He's taken to the ground fairly. Oliver Spring, the man, another one out of Echuca Footy Club. The blue headgear for the number 25, the Pioneers. Can't miss him. Commentators dream the headgear, especially when they're coloured. So just going again. No team's able to break it open. Who's going to get the clearance? Loving the running and jumping from the rucks as Sinclair bursts away. And again, he can't quite find a target inside attacking 50. The mark taken by Link Chiller. What a name, Chiller. Just behind the ball, looks very composed. Looks like a natural user of the football. Not quite the mark. Well played, and the Pioneers do well to keep it in. And they've got the numbers. Here's Spring. Does he have a bounce? He doesn't. He goes forward with the kick. It wasn't the perfect drop, but it's worked out okay. Muir was in there, had a half fumble. Island picked up. Here's an opportunity now for Archie DeMail. I said that commentator's dream. He's got the blue boots, the orange headgear, and the long sleeves. But he turns it over to Sinclair. Sinclair's kick up to half forward is marked. In the middle of a pack of three, Pearson takes the mark for the Pioneers, and then he stuffs up the kick. Here's an opportunity. Not quite. Well, in the end, the tackle wasn't stuck. Greenwood, he's already got one. Can he get two? He gives off this one. He was thrown to the deck. Fairly, says umpire Harrison, ball up. So Pearson, what a good mark, and then pretty average kick. He'll be disappointed with that. He'd love to have that back. Just over a minute to go in this quarter. Bendigo pressing. They've flipped the script slightly here. Punch towards the line, springs onto it. Here he goes. Two in a row for the Pioneers. Beautifully roved off the ruck tap. No one went with him. He read it better than anyone. And Ollie Spring has his first of the day. Speaking of good names, the coach of the Pioneers, Harry Hillier. Just about one of the best names you'll ever get. Rolls off the tongue beautifully. And Ollie Spring, well, I've got to say it, don't I? He sprung out of that pretty well. It's going to happen once at least today. I had to get it out there. 30 seconds to go, so there's still time for either of these two sides to win it out of the middle, and Gippsland have been the ones who have had a couple of centre clearances where they've gone straight inside. Can they get another one here? We've gone to about 20 seconds. This time it's the Pioneers who are half thinking about the clearance. Brown's in there. He's the one to watch for Gippsland with his speed. Island's out the back as well. Plenty of players on top of it. That'll pretty much be the last action of this opening quarter. It's been really, really good to watch. And there it is, quarter time at Mars Stadium. After the first three goals were kicked by the Gippsland Power, the Bendigo Pioneers have responded. Greenwood and then Spring have got the margin back to just 5 points at quarter time. We're just going to take a quick little break, let the two teams go over it, have an orange or two at quarter time, and we'll come back for the second quarter action. It's the V-Line Cup. My name's Harvey Constable. You're watching on Sportscast Australia. Welcome back here to Mars Stadium as the two teams make their way back out. After the quarter time addresses, Gippsland Power 3-2-20, Bendigo Pioneers 2-3-15. I'm having a blast calling it. My name's Harvey Constable. Matt's with me, making sure you can see it and hear it. And without him, there'd be nothing today, nothing on the live stream. But that was a really good quarter to watch. Lacked a bit of cleanliness, but can be excused given the conditions. It's just a little bit dewy. The rain has ceased. It's just been sort of consistent drizzle, which is it's just London rain. It's crap, really, unfortunately, but it's on and off, and at the moment it's off, so we like it. Bit of sun creeping through as it has. Two teams have switched ways. Bendigo kicked into the left, Gippy to the right, and it's Bendigo win the first hit out. Ireland half held. Got the hands free. And beautiful bit of footwork and a nice bit of patience to get the kick out for the power. And it's a good tackle that was laid on Riley Moore, I should say. Ireland back there, so clean. Looks a real talent here. So that kick's a little bit wide and it's going to be out of bounds for a throw in on the broadcast side. Right in front of us here. Good crowd in with the family and friends. It's a real good feel-good sort of feel around the V-Line Community Cup. It is just an exhibition, but as we said, there's a lot to play for these boys, because there could be scouts watching and going to try and get them into those elite pathways, which really set you up for a potential AFL career. Bendigo end up with possession after the turnover. Good smother on Muir. And the numbers with Wind. Oh, beautiful. He parted the seas. I don't know how he found space in amongst about 5. He's had 3 bounces. He'll get the kick inside 50, and he almost just did too much. Brilliant work to start, but Cooper McDowell takes the grab, and then corridor kick is the go. And they are a go, just. Bit of composure. Oh, that's a risky kick. Good hands, though, from Henry Strang. He'll go corridor. Oh, and it's a turnover. Really dangerous spot. It was the right idea, but it's going to be Sullivan Jennings who's going to be close to get it. He is onto it, and he kicks inside 50. It's just over the outstretched arms of Phillips. Carter's down there. Oh, man, 3-on-1 there, Gippy. They just couldn't get it under control. So it's just a lack of cleanliness going inside 50 for Gippsland. I think around the ball they're doing pretty well, but it's when they turn and kick forward that they're struggling to hit targets. But Bendigo, yeah, that'll be a real concern for the coaching staff, is the way that they're getting done out of the middle. Just all around the ground being outworked a little bit. But here's Sinclair. Oh, he wasn't quite tackled as he dropped it. That's why he gets away with that. And not quite the mark taken on the outer side. Wind was there in a 2-on-1 to break it up. Here's Isaac Brown. Look at that speed. Surely not from there. Isaac Brown, if you don't mind. Not quite the mark taken on the goal line. Sinclair back. Thumps it as far as he can outside defensive 50. And again, really well played in an outnumbered situation by the Pioneers. But allowed the numbers to arrive. The tackle from Ireland slips a little bit high on Harvey Keating out of South Bendy Football Club. Rochester Secondary is where he's completing his schooling at the moment. Oh, and that was an unfortunate slip that, yeah, it's going to be paid a block by umpire Harrison. And it is the right decision in the end. It was just very unlucky. The slip happened and it almost led to a slide tackle, which allows Pritchard to get the ball inside 50. And the 47 kicks to the 48, Charlie Dickens. He was in the best in their game on Monday, and that's a good kick. Turns around, finds a teammate who points to the big sticks, Jimmy Kelly. He had a teammate on the outer side, but he said, I'll take the responsibility. Out of Swan Hill Football Club. He turned 15 in March. Jimmy Kelly, the number 28 for the Bendigo Pioneers. This would put him in front, if you can believe it. They conceded the first 3. Kicked 2 to equalise it a little bit at least in that first quarter. It wasn't the best kick, and it's a really good job on the goal line to actually touch that through. He really didn't hit that very well, Kelly. And on the goal line, doing the goalkeeping was Tyler Sutton out of Bunyip FC. He's another one who was in the best for the Gippsland Powers. They were defeated by the Southeast Stingrays 10-11-71. Oh, sorry. 18-13, 121 to 8-2-50, so they were accurate. Wind, the target for that kick, was knocked away from him. Still have time to go back and get it, Livingston. And he just ran his measure and somehow got it away. And that's good, clean composure. Really well played there. Will Walker, another one of the best from Monday. And that's a great kick out wide. Good football this. Lincoln Balcom Matters. Kicks up to half forward. Numbers are there for the Pioneers. Good work to spin out of trouble there from Nate Wade. Kicking up, looking for Spring. Went through his hands. Maybe thought the pressure was coming, and then he rips his opponent to the deck. A little bit unlucky, but the free kick always going to come. Link Chiller, the recipient. Good kick up to half forward. Again through hands. Obviously very slippery football, but these things have got to go your way on a day like this. You've got to hold on to those. Good courageous play from both players there. Spring goes in to pick it up. He'll get boot to ball. He kicks just for space. He'll be hoping it's not an intercept mark, and it isn't. It gives Pearson a chance because he chased hard. Spring follows up. Pearson goes to ground. Picks it up. Gets the handball off. It's knocked away. Throw in. Good result for Bendigo there. Yeah, it's good courage from Archie DeMail. The 13 for Gippsland. And Spring the other way for Bendy. Both teams have started this second quarter well. And Gippsland doing a lot of the defending, but they're out here. Here's Wind. He's going to give it off to Brown, surely. He does. He can run now, Isaac Brown. If he can get it under his control, which he can't. Good chase from Greenwood. Duck the head now, Brown. Knocked out in the tackle. And he goes in. He lays a tackle himself, Isaac Brown. Man, if he wasn't a footballer, he'd be a sprinter. He might be both. Greenwood picks it up. High snapping ball. It's going to work out. Pritchard on a long lead, takes the mark, rolls and turns, but he wasn't really sure what was ahead of him. It bounces off the foot of Spring. It's worked out really well for the Pioneers. Back to Pearson. That's a better kick. Composed again. And the mark is taken on the outer side. I think it's Hugo Warren for the Pioneers. So they've already had a sight up to take the lead in this quarter. A second opportunity, trailing by 4, would give them a 2-point lead for those mathematicians out there. Hugo Warren, the famous last name. And he's missed everything. So another chance goes begging for Bendigo. When you've got the momentum, you've got everything going for you, you've got to make the most of these chances. They just haven't quite done that yet, the Pioneers. Still an age to go in this game of football and in this quarter. Still nearly 13 minutes to go. But here go Gippy. It's broken up again. That time coming through is Will Walker. Very clean. Drops it on the left. Inside kick. Wasn't not a bad one at all, but teammates just couldn't get boot to or hand to ball. And that's socket forward, and that's going to be a throw in. I think there was enough players close enough to avoid the deliberate call. Again, just sort of surging the ball forward in any way they can, Bendigo. And they've seemed to shut down a couple of these Gippy mids, the Browns and the Winds of the world. They've broken away a couple of times, but they just haven't been as damaging going forward. That's probably going to be holding the ball. Umpire said it was knocked out, though. Perhaps a little bit lucky there, Walker. But that is the interpretation. If the ball is knocked out, cannot be holding the ball. Although you do see it paid sometimes. Good decision from umpire Harrison as well. That could be almost raffled, but in the end, Tom Carter, he made sure that umpire Harrison saw that block. It certainly was there. At centre half back now. He goes with the high ball. It's slightly corridor. It's dangerous. Sinclair is there at ground level, but the umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Gippsland. It's going to go the way of Lewis Phillips, who horizontals one inside 50. In fact, there is Phillips. The kick instead came from Sully Jennings, and Phillips has an opportunity here. The first shot he had was a little bit beyond him. Dare I say this one might be too, but, well, that's a missed rotation because he's found Wind in an absolute paddock on his own inside 50. One of the most dangerous players on the ground. Not sure how that happened. And Hunter Wind out of Sale Junior Footy Club. Catholic College Sale is where he goes to school. Opportunity for him, who was in the bests on Monday. Again, gets a little bit underneath it. Oh, and it should have been a mark taken on the goal line. Sinclair smartly just rushes that one through. And they're going to go quickly here, Bendigo, and it's not really going to work out for them. Carter's there at centre-half forward, had a fumble. The numbers do arrive for Bendigo to break it up. It's dangerous footy, though. It was really well played in the end. That kick's going to come out looking for Muir. But he wasn't first to it. Balcom Matters was. Good strong tackle. Umpire says ball up. Hunter Wynn did kick a goal in that game on Monday. And again, well played by Gippsland. Balcom Matters gets it inside 50. Mark taken by Sally Jennings, who's had a couple of looks ahead of the field and has been good with his service. We're going to get the perfect view of this. It'll be interesting to see what the wind is doing. The flags are probably the limpest they've been all day, though. So for Jennings out of Moe Football Netball Club, it's going to hold the line. Does it have the legs? It doesn't. And on the goal line, it's a goal. Somehow, well, I know how, he's one of the smallest players on the ground. Everyone forgot about him. Archer Hawke, they should have known because he's already kicked one today. He's kicked two. He took that on the goal line. He just read that better than anyone. Everyone flew for it. It got out the back. And Archer Hawke, 168.5 centimetres. And then he just snuck in there. No one noticed him. Margin back out to 11 for Gippy. That's a coach killer if you're Bendigo. They've really owned this quarter. And Gippy go down the other end and have had about 2-3 minutes of forward half dominance, and they convert. Bendigo haven't been able to in this quarter so far. But Greenwood, can he win it out of the middle? He can. But it's going back the other way. And Gippsland, they've got runners. Here they go. Will Walker. How's the delivery inside 50? He's looking for Jennings. Sinclair comes out the other way. He's been a bright spot. Off half-back and out of defence. And Spring can't quite get his hands on that. Ireland can, just shrugs off the tackle like he's nothing. Then he gives it to a teammate who's gone. And they can take the advantage and they can raffle this. It's a goal. Ollie Ireland, rather, Ali Gill is the one who finishes off. I thought it was Pearson, saw the ginger head. Didn't want to go with it, but it's the next number up, Ali Gill, who kicks that goal. And Bendigo, well, they respond immediately. Well played. Good pressure at half forward, and then there was a 4-on-1 inside 50. And I tell you what, if he had missed that, he would have felt a little bit guilty because he had a mate over the top in the goal square for a cheapie, but backed himself in, as you would, 20 out directly in front. Pretty much no pressure on you, other than the pressure of potentially missing a soda. The Pioneers are in this. I say that as if they haven't been. They have been in this game. It's very even. Ireland into the middle. Comes out to Greenwood. Just threw it on the boot. He wanted the outside of the boot, I think, but he found the inside. There's the goal scorer. Unable to take the mark, Gill, but he does the work at ground level. Spring, this would be for his second. Has he got enough on it? No, he hasn't. Really good mark going back with the flight. Jack Thomas. That was a tough ball to handle. We've seen some players drop some easier marks than that so far today, and he made that look pretty easy himself. Kicks to a pack. No mark. Plenty of hands on it. And there is a holding free. It's going to go the way of Gippsland. Fraser Livingston is going to be the recipient. Been impressive in defence so far. Oh, that's a wide kick. Goodwell hugs the line. Caleb Cantwell. Or Cantwell even. Kicks it up, only as far as Greenwood. Oh, just pounced that one-handed. Didn't need to. And he decided he was just going to get the 1 mid up there. That's a kick slightly skewed off the side of the boot. Pearson's the target. Muir at ground level. Got one high, gives it off to Pearson, who can take the advantage if he wants. He decides not to. Muir will have an opportunity here. Had some short leaders. Ignored them. Went wider, and it was a good choice because Ali Gill finds himself staring down the barrel of 2 straight goals here. Out of Eagle Hawk Football Club. Goes to Bendigo Southeast Secondary. He's shown he knows his way around the big stick so far. That 1 goal just about a minute ago, and that time it's a little bit skinny, so he misses. So the goal scorers for the Pioneers, Spring, Greenwood and Gill. We'll get to Gippsland's in a moment once this play is done and dusted, and it's going to be a holding free kick again. Just another one of those unfortunate ones. And it certainly was there. Paddy O'Brien. He lowers the eyes, and it's worked. Somehow he put it in the right spot for Muir, who's got someone wide open in the goal square screaming for it. He ignored that option. Goes short. Finds Warren. Warren goes wide again and finds Morecambe, who's looking like he's about to put the mouthguard in the sock. He reckons he's got the distance. Going to go through the routine, be about a kick of 48 metres. The wind seemingly blowing across the ground, it looks like, from the flags now. He pulls it late, great decision, and again, much like the other end, this time Bendigo find the open space after missing one of their open men earlier in the quarter. I'll just try and work out exactly who it is who's on the runway here. Almost the exact same spot that Gill had the shot from a moment ago, perhaps just a touch closer in. And it's the same result, another minor score. It was Harvey Keating that time who misses. So Bendigo, 3-6. They've had chances in this quarter. There's Will Walker. Up to Thomas. Got a man wide, he's going to use him. Chiller. Rolls and goes. He just looks like a beautiful left footer. And that's a nice kick, no exception. Ireland through the contact, takes the mark. He's looking immediately corridor. Love to see it. He's going to go short. He just popped it up. Ooh, it was slightly risky. Back to Walker. Called to play on by umpire Harrison. And kicks up. And it's turned over, although they have the numbers to break it up. Really good tackle that time, though, on Livingston. And they've got out the back. Spring gives it over the top. They've got another spare. Can they get it down there? Spring. He just has to get it under his control. He does. Oh, well, he did kick it. He had to. I thought he missed it. His mate in the goal square wouldn't have been too happy. They've passed up again on a cheapie from the goal square, but he did deserve that, Ollie Spring. He's got 2. And Bendigo are in front. They deserve to be with the way they've gone about it in this quarter. And with just 2.5 to go in it, that's a good result. Good game of footy. And it was a bizarre kick. He naned it from about 15 out directly in front. Didn't look great off the boot. But it snuck its way in. And as I said, his mate in the goal square would have been seething, I reckon. That's 2 times that there's been a Bendigo player in the goal square that's been burnt, but I suppose Spring earned that one. He did the hard work. Now Brown trying to get things going for Gippsland, and he lays the tackle that time. Pritchard was just nudged off it. Ireland, he's got to get rid of it here. He was pushed just as he kicked, and it created enough pressure. Well played by Bendigo. That was kicked back in, or into the back of Spring. Brown got through his hands. Well played, O'Brien. Now Pritchard thought his way through it, the big man. Gives it on to Warren. Warren up to centre half forward. It wasn't the best kick. Bounces just in front of the leading target. Socket off the deck. Good tackle. There's just a player limping off for Gippsland. That's not great. Ireland again. He just wins the footy in strange situations. Sinclair gets it away. And just looking, Will Walker. He's tried to make his way to the bench. He's actually fallen over in pain as he's tried to get there. And I'm not sure what they're looking at here. It's definitely a leg injury. I don't know if we're going to have a stoppage in play here because it's very close to the play. The umpire, he's now seen it. He is going to blow time off. And that's Will Walker. definitely is a leg injury. I reckon he looks a little bit proppier on the right leg, perhaps. Yeah, a little bit less movement on the right leg. Let's hope that's not a knee. This is not the game you want to injure yourself in. I mean, you don't want to injure yourself in any game, but when you're trying to put your best foot forward for Coates, you don't want that to happen. So we hope that he's okay. Warren bursting through. There's only about 30 seconds to go in this quarter. Can Bendigo get something on the board? That was a great fist from Livingston. I've liked his game so far. Now an opportunity for the Pioneers. That got through the hands of Dickens. It gets on and out the back. Rush through. So this will pretty much be the end of the half. I think Bendigo Gippsland rather need to just sort of be aware of the clock, and they seem to be. They're down by 4 points. As the siren sounds for half time. Really good quarter of football from the Bendigo Pioneers. They go to 4-7-31. Gippsland Power 4-3-27. So they've turned it around after quarter time. They took their chances in the end in that quarter, the Pioneers, and we're just going to have a break for half time. My name's Harvey Constable. As I said, you're watching the V-Line Community Cup on Sportscast Australia. We're going to take a break for half time. Bendigo by 4 points over the Gippsland Power here at Mars Stadium. Welcome back to Mars Stadium. You're watching on Sportscast Australia at the V-Line Cup. It's a triple header between Bendigo and Gippsland. It's Division 2 that we're in at the moment with the boys. Bendigo by 4 points. Nearly caught just about everyone in the ground off guard. The umpires were yet to re-emerge from the rooms and the players were well in their positions already. But we're on umpires' time, of course. They adjudicate how long the breaks they want it to last. They have a set time, but I believe they were on that. Wasn't timing it, but we'll give the benefit of the doubt. The players didn't actually go into their rooms as well, which I don't think is that helped the umpires. So they didn't spend a lot of time in the huddles. Sinclair now through for Bendigo, who had a better second quarter after a pretty tough first one. Ended 3 goals to 2 in that opening quarter. And it's now 4 goals to 4. And Bendigo have that 4-point lead. Here's Sinclair again. Looks to have potentially been moved onto the ball and got a big shove out. And there's another kick that's come after it. The umpire gives the benefit of the doubt. So Sinclair, Lucas Sinclair it is. Out of Mildura Footy Club. He's been one of the best for the Pioneers. Under 15s this is the V-Line Cup. Division 2 boys, as we said, Pritchard got hands to it. Couldn't quite complete the mark. A couple of players in there. Nate Wade's one of them who had that football. DeMail couldn't quite get boot to ball in the orange headgear. As I said, he is a commentator's dream. He's got the long sleeves and a bright coloured headgear. Cannot get any better than that. Archie DeMail out of Maffra Junior Footy Club. Up again. The Rucks are really running and jumping at the football. Love to see it. Gets now inside attacking 50. Just trickles in there for Bendigo. They're going to have another stoppage. So playing this well, the Pioneers. They started on the back foot, had to do a lot of defending, and they did it. As Pritchard gets that ball going forward. And here's an opportunity. Is it going to be a goal? It's not quite, but it's going to be a mark. On the last line. The kick came from Wade. And the mark, I think, has been taken by Jamison Wesley, who has a behind already today. This will be a really tough kick. Goes to the left foot snap. Oh, it was a bit skinny, but it hit the post anyway. And that is that man there, Wesley. So that's his second behind, as I said. Out of Sandhurst Football Club. Catherine Macaulay College is his school. As the ball gets kicked out from half or fullback from Gippsland. But they aren't able to hold on to possession. Comes back to McDowell, who swings that to centre half forward. It's a good kick. Oh, back with the flight. A couple of players went. It was courageous. It was broken up. And yeah, he's holding his hand up there, DeMail. It might have got a shot to the ribs he's holding as Brown was taken to ground. Didn't really dispose of it. Sinclair, not sure how he got rid of that. And yeah, the umpire had a great view of it. If I could see it from here, then she was probably a shoo-in to see it from where she was on the ground. So the free kick is going to go the way of Link Chiller as DeMail makes his way to the bench in quite a bit of pain. Juggling mark is taken by Kobe Hart-Feistling. And they are just going to stop players. DeMail is going to make his way to the bench, and he's sort of in the drop zone of where this next kick might end up. So chance for Bendigo to just set up their defence. They've got a spare behind the ball, unless he's just making his way to the bench. No, he's just there to mark the man who's about to come off it. And here he is, Ireland, straight off the bench, right into the action. No regard for his health and safety. Taking in the tackle there is Nate Grogan. Nate, that's N-A-Y-T-E. He has to spell his name for his whole life, poor old Nate. He gets a good run and jump at that. Sorry if Nate's parents are watching, by the way. I don't mind the spelling. And that kick only goes as far as Livingston, who's just camped himself behind the ball beautifully today. Over to Chiller. Another one of those. Just sort of gives me the Jackson Pryor sort of vibe about him. He's just a very natural-looking footballer. And, well, that's a real dangerous kick coming back in the middle from Hart-Feistling, but they had the numbers, but Pearson breaks it up for the Pioneers. They're starting to win those outnumbered contests. It's a good sign for them. And a good mark at half forward. The man who's already kicked a couple of behinds just a moment ago, one of those, Wesley. There's not really many players deep. So he's just going to kind of pop it up, and then he sets a task for the forwards down there, and then no one could complete the mark except for Jack Thomas, who's in the other jumper. He's looking out for Wind, who's got Warren for company, and Wind marks, and Wind goes. Off to Ireland. Now to Carter, running through the long sleeves, the big man. How does he get through this kick? Wasn't quite Riley O'Brien, but it wasn't his prettiest. Gets it on. The quick snapping shot from Finn O'Halloran is through for behind. So that's what we saw early stages when Gippsland were on top. It was their transition game was so fast. And when Bendigo didn't really have an answer for it, Greenwood made Sinclair work a little bit harder than you would have liked for that. But yeah, Gippsland there, they look back to their best just for that one passage of play, but they couldn't convert, so it's still a 4-point lead for Bendigo. Here's an opportunity for some flyers to go at it. No one really did. Comes down to Chiller. Brown was in front. Muir there for Bendigo. Gives it off to a teammate who pumps it up the line. Pearson in a one-on-one. Good fist came. Ireland was in the right spot. Off to Wind. Had a fumble though. Comes out. Good kick. Yeah, good mark too. Darcy Pritchard rolls and goes. He maybe didn't know what was around him. He's got to get rid of it. He had teammates everywhere. I'm not sure what he was doing, to be honest. He tried to do way too much there, the big boy. And he's followed up, put some pressure on, but hasn't really affected anything. Comes out to Phillips on the outer wing. They've got a spare over the top. They have used this overlap running really well. Sully Jennings, he can have a bounce. He can almost stroll in here. There's not really any leading targets, so he sets home and he gets it. There's the transition that we were just talking about from the power. Turnover at half forward or half back for them, and then they go straight away. A couple of kicks onto the outer side. And well finished off, Sully Jennings. As I said, out of Maui Football Netball Club. Turned 15 in January. Great finish. And Gippy, you're back in front. Pritchard thumps it. Brown was there first, but Warren picks it up. His handball to a teammate was a little bit low, but he went back and followed it up, Warren. Now sets a task for Kelly, and the numbers arrive. Almost a back heel out there, and here is Brown. We've seen him use his pace. This time he opts for a kick, and that time that's probably his best kick of the day. He had to execute, and he did. Finn O'Halloran, he gets it over the top, and here's Jennings somehow finding acres of space on the outer side. Gives it back to O'Halloran. And it's a shot from the pocket, which was audacious, but it was the right kick in the situation. And it's actually going to be a good result there for Gippsland. They earn a forward 50 stoppage. So once again, the transition on that outer side. I'm not sure how Jennings is finding so much space. Again, he's not the tallest, so maybe people are just not paying attention, but they're often the fastest and the most dangerous. We've seen a couple of those today so far. O'Halloran, one motion, got it, and there is Jennings on cue. Look at him go. He's kicked 2 in a row, Sully Jennings. They forgot him at him again. On cue. The commentator's curse can be positive, you see, people. Just speaking about him and how they sort of forgotten about him on the last couple of plays, and once again, defensive lapse. You cannot afford it against these cheeky little small forwards. 171 centimetres. So he's not that small, but he's slight, and he's obviously a great runner. It's the only one in this team out of the Maui Football Netball Club. The margin just extends just that little bit further. It's now 8 points, so just wrestling momentum back here, Gippsland. And now another clearance. Here's Ireland, back to what they were doing in the first quarter. Jennings is in and around this again, but the mark is going to be completed. Jasper Morecambe looking out for Muir. Ireland, great fist. That'll win a Golden Fist Award. some seriously good athletes out there. It's clear to see. Just the work rate is so impressive. These kids, 14, 15 years of age, you just imagine when they're, you know, I mean, it's another 10 years for their physical peak, but even when they're sort of breaking through to draft years 18, 19, you just imagine what they're going to be like. Here's Jennings again, somehow finds the space. Sinclair. Well, he does beautifully well there. He's got that Dangerfield high ball drop. Works for him, though. Certainly worked for Danger, I'll tell you that, as a Cats fan. I digress. Good kick inside 50 from Gill, but was at the bootlaces. He's going to get it back here, Gill. The handball he received was at his bootlaces. Strong tackle, spills out. Muir almost took his man off without it. Opportunity for a snap. Hasn't got the legs. Oh, again on the goal line. Gippsland have done that on a couple of occasions where they've just had a goalkeeper camped on the goal line. The ball's actually gone over the back into what is a live construction site. And the man with the hard hat is going to take the role of ball boy for a second here. He's certainly in no hurry. He's on company time, that's why. Here's Chiller even. Goes up. Thomas drops a chesty. And then the handball wasn't very good to Chiller. Thomas has mucked it up, but he's got the composure to get it back to Chiller. Unnecessary pressure applied on Gippy, though, coming out of defence. That's a really good result for Bendigo, and really it wasn't too... Well, you can't really put it down to them at all. And that was gifted to them. So 8.5 to go. Of course, after this, 2 p.m. will be the Div 1 boys, and as I said earlier in the game, if this is Division 2, I'm very much looking forward to what the Division 1 boys have got for us. DeMail, good to see he's back out there. Ireland came through, didn't dispose of it. Benefit of the doubt given. Gippsland again clear. This is a big ball to win. There's 2 one-on-ones. It's about to be a third. Spring was there, didn't really bounce kindly for him. Jennings again, he's been the best on in this quarter, and as soon as I say that wasn't his best kick, he's going to turn it over. Good bodywork from Pritchard to give the time for Muir to pump it forward. Bouncing football, it gets out the back. Here's an opportunity. It wasn't the best kick if it was for goal, but it certainly wasn't from Riley Moore, because he's hit Bailey Samuels on the chest in the pocket. Certainly give him the benefit of the doubt that that was the intention with that kick. Off the inside of the boot, and it was a good lead. It was rewarded. So Bailey Samuels out of Kyabram Footy Club. Bright orange boots. You want to be kicking goals with those on. He doesn't let me down. He loves it. And why wouldn't he? Because he gets his team back within just a point. They just needed that settler there, Bendigo, just to get a bit of that momentum back. Bailey Samuels. Well done to finish there. Beautiful kick. Just Ash Johnson style. Didn't kick it too hard. Or didn't try to, at least. I know Ash Johnson was delisted yesterday, I believe, by Collingwood. He's looking for a new club. Famously had his pants pulled down after he showed his VFL opponent the ball while he was toiling away in the twos. It's not the way to win back your AFL spot, and he's now lost his contract. As wind now comes out to Ireland. He could almost go for home from 50. He sets sail. It's to the goal square. It's off hands. Good spoil down there from the Gippsland forwards. Picking up and snapping and goaling. Yes. The number 57. I'm going to play HQ because he's not on the sheet. I'm going to get his name, don't worry. Caleb Kelly. There he goes. He was supposed to be wearing 52. He's in 57. He's got one. And well, Gippsland, they respond immediately. Good result for them. So back in the middle. This game is a good one. It's very even. Goal for goal at the minute. It's 3 goals to 1 in this quarter, though, in favour of the Power. So they'll be happy with it. And Ireland almost threw that one out. Umpire was blindsided, though. Gave it off to Sutton, who kicked into the middle of the ground. The opposing 31 in Warren broke it up. Good mark again. So Bendigo, can they respond immediately? It's a kick inside from Wesley. Not quite. There's Samuels down there. Just kicked the last one. And that's a really strong tackle, not rewarded. Ball up surely coming here. Plenty of players around this. Good spot to be in for Bendigo. 4.5 to go in the quarter. Big flies from the rucks. In the contest, it comes out. It's a snapping shot at goal. It was rushed by Nate Wade. He didn't have any real time, so you can understand why. And he missed that under pressure. And again, the Hive hard-hatted boys out the back. They're probably just enjoying a good game of football at the moment. They're doing a bit of ball boy work, as we said. Sutton, good strong hands, was another one that was in the bests on Monday when Gippsland played. And they did play. They got defeated by the South East Stingrays by 71. This is a much better performance. So these two sides probably a little bit more even. And it gets up the top to Carter, right in front of the impending grandstand being built. Phillips had to fly the little man. He did pretty well. Got out the back. They're going to get this ball inside 50 again. The Power. It's a dangerous kick. Ireland arrived late. Stayed up like a cat. Gives it off to Wind. They just get a scrubby ball forward, but it wasn't enough. And that's going to work here for Bendigo, because Gill just came straight off the bench and straight into the action. 44, or 45 to 44, and to 34. Chiller. What a player. Goes straight away corridor. 2 one-on-ones. Well broken up by DeMail. As I said, good to see him out there. He's ditched the long sleeves, though, potentially at half-time. As now Wind was spun around Pritchard. He did well to just hold that on the hip. Took it out of the holster and kicks inside 50, and it's a good mark from Samuels. He's feeling it at the minute. He's got another man who can go into the goal square. He's all on his own. He goes shorter, misses the target. It's going to bounce okay, though. Opportunity for Wesley, who's already got a couple of behinds to his name. Kicks up to the top of the goal square. It's off hands, through hands, and not quite through the big sticks. Gippsland, they haven't rushed it yet. They have now. They did just about enough there, Bendigo, to just scramble through the goal, but they were unable to convert there. 5-11. There's now Chiller. Just goes with the right boot this time, if you don't mind. Very casual. In fact, it's not Chiller, that's why. It was Livingston who gets it back now. And kicks a bouncing ball up to the wing, and it was well played again by Bendigo. They just got all the answers at the minute. Charlie Dickens now gives it up to Pritchard, who dropped the mark. And there's a free kick off, or spotted by the out of position umpire, so Muir is going to take it for Bendigo. Needs to be clean and is to Pearson, the number 44 for the Pioneers. He's clean as well. Wesley, chance for his third look at the big sticks. And he plays on, and there's no one in front of him. He caught them napping, and Wesley, oh, he would have loved to make him pay. That was a great, smart play, and he's just buggered up the kick. 5-12, 17 scoring shots to 11, and they're behind. And it's a third behind for Wesley. And at what point does it start creeping into the back of your mind? The confidence, the head starts to drop. He's getting chances. Oh, that's a good smother, though. Dangerous. The smother from Keating. And it ends up, here's Warren. We'll get a good view of it, and we know that that's not going through. And, well, Gippsland, they've got 4 on their own on the outer side. They can use them, and they do, although it was dropped. They're just being their own worst enemy at the minute. They're putting themselves under unnecessary pressure. Kicked back inside 50. But every time that the ball goes in there, you look behind the ball, and this man, Chiller, is just behind the footy. That's Link Chiller. He's only 14 years of age, and he looks like one of the more experienced heads out there. Just reads the game so well. And there's only 30-odd seconds to go in this third term. A premiership quarter. 3 goals to 1 in favour of Gippsland, but they only have a 4-point lead. Hoisted in by the boundary umpire. Terrific throw in. Gets out the back. Greenwood. Can he get it inside 50 for Bendigo? They have earned themselves at least another look. There's Chiller behind. Is he going to be paid the mark? He is. Oh, and that could have been 50 as well. It is going to be 50. We'll just see to where this takes him, because the players are running on the ground, but the ball's still alive here. And, well, I tell you what, it's a... Hang on a minute. This is quite a long 50. He's been marched to about 80 from home. He does get onto the barrel. Can they let it bounce through? They're trying to. It's still alive, and it's not going to register a score. He would have earned that, Link Chiller, but it would have taken just about the biggest kick of his life and didn't quite have that one in him. But his team go into the final change with a 4-point lead, 7-4, 46-5, 12-42 over the Bendigo Pioneers. We're just going to have a final break before the fourth quarter. You're watching the V-Line Cup on Sportscast Australia. My name's Harvey Constable. Matt's getting us out on air so the friends and family can all watch. Stay with us here. Final quarter action, not too far away. It's a 4-point lead for Gippsland. Welcome back here to Mars Stadium on Sportscast Australia. You're watching the second of 3 games out here at Mars Stadium today. Gippsland Power against the Bendigo Pioneers. This is the meat in the sandwich, if you will. This is the boys Division 2. And it's all set up because it's a 4-point game in favour of the Gippsland Power, who have only had 11 scoring shots compared to Bendigo's 17. And they are down, the boys in light blue, by 4 points heading into the final quarter. The wind, based on the flags, looks to be blowing to the left of screen quite heavily. And that is the way that the Pioneers, who have the scoring to do in this quarter, are kicking. Sinclair was held. Brown just got caught on the wrong side there. And Sinclair now lowers the eyes. Oh, it was a little dart. No one expected it. And a couple of fumbles from Gippsland trying to come out of defence. They do slap it forward. DeMail was there. So was Gill. There's DeMail picking up and kicking quickly. Brown got through the traffic. Little kick to wind, wasn't the required journey. And his kick into the corridor was well broken up by the Pioneers. Pritchard, rather Pearson, taken without the football by Carter. And he goes quickly, and they've got space. Opportunity now for Riley Moore to kick into the pockets. Oh, not quite. Chiller with a good spoil. And not quite from the impossible angle. That's going to be no score. It was an ambitious effort from Wesley, who's kicked 3 behinds today. Oh, here's another shot at goal, and it hasn't gone through the big sticks. That's the hardest of the day for him, though. So can Gippsland be clean with the football? No, they can't. Samuels came out to meet it. Brown, he's clean with it. Off to Carter, bounced through his legs. Sinclair was there to harass him. Had time to get up onto his knees there, Carter. But the pressure's come from the Pioneers. They just have to talk. No one went for the football there. They were all too worried about their opponents or what was happening around them. No one actually went in for the footy. Umpire Harrison to throw it up. Taken out of the ruck by Pritchard. Again, he tries to just do a little bit too much. And Ireland took the advantage straight away. That was a rush decision. Needed a little bit more composure. Xavier Carmichael ends up with it. It's a high ball. Carter had the height. Smartly taps it back to Isaac Brown, who kicks up to find Jennings, who kicked 2 in that third quarter. He was fantastic. He goes corridor. Nearly sold his teammate O'Halloran into trouble. O'Halloran now up to centre half forward. And it's an uncontested mark. Can they roll and go here? Jennings has worked his way forward. Here he is in the little pocket of space. Oh, Greenwood just took him out illegally, says the umpire. And this may be out of his range, Jennings. As we said, kick 2 in that third quarter. He has been superb. And no one's been able to run with him. That's been the issue. That's why he's found so much space. This kick will be about 45 metres. And this would really be the most perfect start to the quarter. It's going to fall a little bit short. It gets out the back, and not for the first time on the goal line. Archer Hawke. Again, they forgot about him. And he kicks a goal on the goal line out the back, if you can believe it. I couldn't believe it the first time it happened. It's happened twice in one game. And the margin's out to 10. So is that the kickstarter for Gippsland here? To potentially roll on to a win. For Hawke, these are his first 3 goals of the Cup in the second game. They've all come today, of course. Clearance was won by the Pioneers, and that's going to trickle almost out of bounds. They are happy to keep this in. No, maybe it wasn't the right choice from McDonald, but he just has the boundary line there to save him. So there really hasn't been too much drizzle in this game. The conditions have sort of levelled out a bit, but the wind certainly still seems to be blowing across the ground. Hoisted back in by the boundary umpire. Probably could have been recalled as Carter went up unopposed in the end. Scramble now, a scrap on the outer side. DeMail's in there laying a tackle. It's knocked free, and we're going to have another ball up. So 10 points, 15 and a half to go in this final quarter. 2 unanswered is the equation for the Pioneers, that Brown has other ideas. Nice body work as well, and it's actually going to work here. Hawke, oh wow, that would be incredible. He actually never grabbed possession, he just dropped it and then it fell onto his boot. And it's not a bad result at all for Gippsland. Archer Hawke out of Druin Football Club. 3 goals straight in this contest. That would have been something certainly very special. As you can see the boys out there just enjoying themselves. I hope they're not on company time, but I'm going to imagine they probably are. Playing ball, the roller ball boy, as we said. Domail comes in, wins a footy, back to Brown, who just set out the back that time. Over the top looking for Phillips, didn't bounce kindly for him. Pearson picks it up, and he goes to a one-on-one on the wing. Big ball to win this. And it's won almost by Gippsland. Not quite though. Bendigo break it up. Here's Wynn trying to get through the traffic. He did. Domail, he's got a lot of space, more than he thought. And the mark was dropped though by Remy O'Donnell. Invites a bit of pressure. Gippsland just allowed back into that contest. It looked like it was going to be an intercept mark, but now it's evened. 14 minutes to go. Pritchard in the air against Carter. It was Carter who won the hit out for Gippsland. Ireland, well, he was pretty much happy to see that over the line. Pretended he was trying to keep it in, but he's happy for another stoppage. They're happy to play this game now, Gippy. It's what you'd expect from them. Just game management now, 10-point ball game. They've got the lead. They've got the first goal of this quarter. Again, it was just the goal sneak, Archer Hawke. Yeah, everyone just forgot about, not for the first time in the goal square today from a big pack situation. Warren trying to come through for Bendigo. He can't. Ireland, this would be sweet. He kicks it over the top. Well played, unselfish. Off to Phillips. He's had a couple of goes at it, Phillips. He's yet to register a score, but some of them have just been a little bit too far out. There are players on the line. Just looking at Archer Hawke, he's just camped down there again. He just almost hides down there behind the goal line as Phillips is on the runway. Has he got the journey in him? Very close to the player on the mark. It's going right to the line. Oh, gee. They only just got a fingernail on that, it looks like, Bendigo. And it's a minor score for Phillips, and it makes it 11 points. The Pioneers, the ones that need to do the attacking, and they've struggled to do so in this quarter so far. That's a good kick out to Warren, and that's a good mark. Hasn't got a ton ahead of him. They all sort of let up a little bit too early. It's very close to the line, not quite over. Mark taken. That's Paddy O'Brien out of Imperial Football Club. Short to Carmichael. Does he go long up the line? He looks like he is going to go that way. Brings it slightly central, and Thomas again drops a chesty. Recovers well this time, and he was decked downfield after the fact, but it would have been a mark to Ireland anyway. It's an unconventional ball drop, but it works for him, Ollie Ireland, and now Jennings can roll and go. He's looking for Hawke. The pressure forwards trying to combine there, and it was a good fist from Morecambe, who runs an arc. They need to get this clear, and they do. Here's an opportunity perhaps. McDonald, it didn't really quite get to him, and it was really well played. Well done, Livingston. Gets it on to Jennings. Now onto O'Halloran. This would be nice. He looked to pass. Now he sets sail for the big sticks. It's across the face, but this will be a handy point. Makes it 2 straight kicks. Second behind of the day for Finn O'Halloran, who's out of the Inverloch Conwack Football Club. Right up the eye-diddle-diddle. Here they go, Bendigo. They've got to start. Well, I mean, there's 11 minutes to go. I was going to say they've got to start taking the game on, but they've still got time. but they have to get the game back on their terms, and it's a 3-on-2 here. Opportunity for them to do that. Sinclair stayed down, wasn't clean, paddles it to himself. He's got Brown for company, and Brown just held on to the arm. Sinclair perhaps cramping a little bit in the right string. Wants to get rid of it quickly. Does. Oh, Pritchard dropped it, but they have numbers. Wesley's in there, applies the bump, ends up with the football, spins out of trouble, back into it, ball up. Oh no, holding the ball. And you know what? I don't mind that at all. We did have the arms free, and typically once the arms go up, that's your prior opportunity, and he didn't get rid of it. He was almost ended up tackled by a teammate, Jennings. That's probably his only blemish of the day so far. It's a risky kick into the corridor, and it hasn't paid off. It's been broken up by the Pioneers. This is the important kick. All the numbers behind the ball are with Gippsland, and it was well played by Gill to actually affect that contest, and that man Schiller's got up a little bit sore. The quick kick comes out, and there is only Gippsland players behind the football. One of them was Wind, and he kicks up. And Jennings, this time the corridor kicks a good one. On to Sutton. He wants to stay corridor, goes up looking for Phillips. Good contest between he and Spring, but at ground level the numbers with the Pioneers. O'Donnell, he links up with Carmichael, and now to Samuels. He's got players on the outer side, on the broadcast side. He's got players everywhere, and he's kicked to the one place probably where there weren't heaps of Bendigo players, and Schiller breaks it up. Off to Brown. Wants space to run. He found it somehow. Gets onto the right boot, kicks up the wing. Muir was there first. He was clean. He had to be. But it's a great smother from Ireland. Courageous stuff. Picks it up off the bootlaces. Lovely little dinky ball over the top. Gives it to Jennings. He thought about the give. Goes with the kick inside 50. Almost clean there. Was Kelly. He's already kicked one today. Ends up with Kelly. Bends over, picks it up. Tackled straight away. No prior. Dumped out of there by Morecambe. Here's a big ball to win again in the corridor. And they almost win at Bendigo. Now they have. O'Brien got it out. Pearson gets it on by hand, and they're out. There's no one really in front. He might have to just go for it here. Henry Strang, oh, he just took too long, and in the end tried to kick it, I think, to his teammate, who is going to end up with it. Gill shrugs the tackle. Back to Pritchard. He's already done too much too often today, but this time it's going to work out for him, is it? Yes, it is. I thought he was going to get caught holding the ball again there, Pritchard, but he just got the ball to boot, and it's a great finish on the outside of the boot, if you don't mind. Darcy Pritchard, 192 centimetres at 15 years of age. He's doing pretty well for himself, and he's got the margin back to one straight kick. Tick under 8 to go. Game on. Out of Wentworth Football Club. Here's Darcy Pritchard. He goes to Merbeen Prep to 10 College, so in a couple of years' time he's going to have to shift. I don't know if they have an 11 and 12, I'm not sure. And that's going to be locked up. Secondary stoppage inside the centre circle. Again, the game was played in terrific spirit. It's been hard, but it's been really fair. There's been nothing untoward in it. It's one thing I really enjoy about these games. You actually don't often see that in these sort of exhibitions. The players are just wanting to put their best foot forward with the football, and they don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Ireland got the clearing kick away, and then under pressure is Hart Thiesling, and he did really well to shrug the tackler onto Jennings. He'd be certainly in the best for Gippsland. That's a good kick. Just faded away. Opportunity here for the Power potentially to get another one. The numbers were with Bendigo Muir. Well, he looked composed there. He was more composed than I was for him. And the kick has worked. Wesley, he turns and he goes. He's already kicked 3 behinds. Can he kick a goal? He kicks from 52. He's had a couple of bounces. It's going to go all the way. Oh, I got a terrible bounce. Oh, and it's knocked through for a behind. Probably the right thing to do from Chiller, but it makes the margin 5 points with 6.5 to go. So inadvertently, it makes it better for Bendigo. There's Sinclair trying to break it up. He'll be happy with the line here just about. They're not going to quite get it. It's actually not a bad result for Bendigo. Sutton through his hands. Now Brown, the big name, starting to get involved. Samuels want a boot to ball. Didn't quite get it. Really strong tackle on Keating. Got it free. Wesley's taken high. So if that ball that he had before skid on, it would have been a goal. Is this one going to be a goal? It's not, but he was decked. And it's downfield, and Pritchard, he marked anyway, and I said there's nothing really been untoward. It doesn't go any further than just another little hip and shoulder, but that's a bad mistake, have to say, from Lincoln Balcom Matters. He was really frustrated that he let that tackle slip high, and he thumped the ground, and then he thumped his opponent into the deck. And Darcy Pritchard, well, he just kicked one that got him within 6. The margin's now 5 with that rush behind. The big boy can put him in front. He made the goal umpire work, but Bendigo are back in front. The Pioneers, they have taken a 1-point lead. That is his second. Darcy Pritchard stepping up when it matters most. And the tables have turned. Just a bit of frustration there for Lincoln Balcom Matters out of Police Boys Junior Football Club. And he knows it too, but the mark probably would have been taken anyway, so not going to put that down to him. But I have to say, Bendigo, they've probably earned that. Now Sinclair, and the big ruckman, he got up off his haunches, did Grogan, to get it forward. Ends up with Brown. Can he get it under his control? He did well to paddle it to himself. Somehow fends off 2. They can't tackle this man. He wobbles 1 to half forward. It's broken up. Samuels, if they're good enough here, Bendigo, they could almost go end to end. Here's Wesley. He's become the link-up player. He's called to play on. Under pressure. Turns and kicks. Balcom Matters is going to be there. Can he make up for it? Oh, it's a bit of a nervy spoil. Comes out. Opportunity. It's a shot on goal, and it's missed. It's Gill, and it's a minor score, but that makes the margin 2 points. And now all of a sudden, Gippsland were the ones who were doing the defending. They've got to do the attacking. They go into late game win mode. I reckon there's more goals in it, but I'm not sure. I want to say next goal probably wins it. And they're going to go right up the middle. That's the risk you're willing to take at this stage. Wind, he got up, but he lost his feet. Wesley kept it. He gives off the hands. Opportunity now for Kelly to slam the door shut. Well, it's another behind, so it's not a bad result again. Jimmy Kelly, that's his second behind. Because if Gippsland are to go down the other end and miss, then, well, they're now 3 points behind all of a sudden. It's 7-15 for Bendigo, 8-6 for Gippsland. Good ball out of defence, though. They found the open man. This is the next kick. There's still time left. The kick is back to Chiller. This is the man you trust to have this ball at centre-half back. Very much Dane Zorko, that sort of vibe about him. As that's going to be a free kick. He did not get hand to that, Greenwood. And Jennings, they can roll forward. Here they go. Jennings kicks it over the top. He's just got to get it under his control there, Cantwell. And he does. He gives it off to DeMela. Can he kick one? He can't. It's a minor score. 2.5 to go. So that's what I said. They had a chance there with DeMail. And he just missed. And so it's still 2 points. Kick very close to the line. It's a smart kick. Greenwood's down there for Bendigo. He did well. Bounced off the tackler. Pearson. Oh, he didn't really get rid of it. Was knocked out, I'll say. So we're going to have a throw in. Just attacking side of the wing for the Gippsland Power. So it's at the right end of the ground for them. Of course, this is all just really for pride. You still want to win your games of football, but I think Gippsland will be very happy if they are able to go home with a 1-1 record. After a 71-point thumping that they were on the end of on Monday, they'd love to win this one. But both teams would be equally deserving of it, you have to say. Greenwood trying to burst onto it. He can't. Now they come back the other way. They just raffle it. Brown, he couldn't find the space that time. He's gone, Isaac Brown. What a fantastic tackle. I think it was Gill who laid it. And then he goes with the corridor kick. Wesley, his kick inside 50, does get out the back. Can they finish it off? They can't. Who else but Chiller to be back on the last line for Gippsland. Wind, beautiful agility. He's going to have a risky bounce. Gives the handball over the top. It was a fumble from Hannah. He's going to get it onto Sutton, though. They found the space. They are out with just over a minute to go. Phillips, he had to go in a one-on-one with Muir. The 232s go at it. Phillips wins out at ground level. Snaps it around the body. This is an important ball to win. Jennings, oh, they spoiled each other. Jennings, he ends up with a football. He gets it back. He does get the kick inside 50. Here we go, opportunity. The big double fister comes. It's into a dangerous area though. Pearson, he attacked it well. Sinclair ends up with it. Oh, he thought about the dump kick. Went with a handball. Sutton now. Oh, it's really scrappy. It's great football. Just dived in on that there, Sinclair. 30 seconds. So it's at the right end if you're a Gippsland player. Spare's already gone behind the ball for Bendigo. As that kick comes towards the line, that's a good kick. That's going to buy a lot of time. And the bounce actually is quite kind for Bendigo as well. Almost running onto it with Strang. It's going to end up with them. McDonald, not quite. Time ticking. They've got to get it inside 50. Is Chiller able to get boot to ball? He's not. He didn't really dispose of it. I think they're going to run out of time. They are. The Pioneers, they were down 2 straight kicks with 11 minutes to go, and they have come from the clouds. And you have to say they probably earned that, the Pioneers. 22 scoring shots to 15. They win 7-15-57 over the Gippsland Power, 8-7-55 in the Division 2 boys here in the V-Line Cup. My name's Harvey Constable. Don't go anywhere. You probably see the Division 1 boys already out there warming up. We'll have them for you from about 2 o'clock. As I said, stay with us. Don't go anywhere. So far, it's 1-1 between these two teams. We'll have Division 1 for you next.
Thanks to the Bendigo boys, unbelievable day today, good luck for all your future endeavours. Big thanks to the sponsors V-Line on this carnival. Our best on ground is Lincoln Chiller.
And I'd like to call on winning coach from the Pioneers.
Thank you. Thanks to Gippsland, great challenge up until that final quarter. Thanks to our Bendigo boys, a great carnival. Thanks to all of our parents and supporters. Cracking 3 days. Massive thanks to V-Line and everyone organising that. Thank you to our umpires. Now you guys can come and play. Our best on today, number 47, Darcy Pritchard. Well done, Darcy.